More than once it happens that I walk, for example, along the Podil. A child runs and shouts, "Mom, Mom!" That was the mom who said no. It's very pleasant when children know you. This lady was in that play, Mom Said No. What is the phenomenon of the popularity and incorruptible love of audiences for the children's play Mom Said No? The fourth season of the modern musical tale is on stage at the most important metropolitan theater for adults. A little boy simply runs out of the first row, runs to the end of the hall, breaks through to the side chairs and shouts, "Dad, that's Maria Burmaka." Why is it important to listen to mom? What is more important, entertainment and gifts or the love of one's parents? In today's edition, we will talk about a colorful world through the eyes of children, with cheerful music and songs, with humor and wise overtones. Marichka Burmaka became the main vector of this play. That's why there are a lot of songs and you have to sing everything live. My friends listen to these discs and play them in the car for their children. There must be something with which to bring up children. It is necessary to give them some kind of foundation. Here, Dad is helping, giving her a clue. No, Mom said no. Is it instructive?
Чуєш, мам? Купи мені плеєр.
Ні.
Але я хочу.
One day, a little boy called Ostapchik and his mother came to a huge toy store. He didn't know where to look at first. I want at least something. Not getting what he wanted, Ostapchik exclaimed angrily in his heart, "I don't want to see you." Mom disappeared in an instant, and then a certain Mr. Nobody appeared. And so fantastic, incredible adventures and transformations began. A fun trip and meetings with the characters of your favorite cartoons and fairy tales. When they took me to this role, Andrei Mai asked, "Ostap, can you sing?" I said, "The best." It all started with this. But even there it was anticipated in the play that everyone has the opportunity to show oneself from different sides. I think Andrei wanted it that way. Some of the actors got an adult role, some a child's one, some several roles at once. But everyone, at least, had to remember himself or herself as a child, remember all his childish pranks, whims, and to play a role. From the very beginning, as we began to rehearse this play, it seemed to me that it was written for me. Then you find some common features embedded in you, which are already written out in this young character, Ostapchik. And willy-nilly, you don't even immerse yourself in it because you play yourself as a child. You have to constantly cheer yourself up, even feel like a child. To play for children, I was even sort of getting younger before the play, because you understand, this audience is children, and you need to get their interest, so that they communicate with you too. If you like it, you play. I often pass through the hall in this performance and talk. They're very open. You give them your raise, and they give you 10 times more. For me, the most important thing is making contact with children, and then everything is great. I believe that such fairy tales should exist. Children are interested. They watch cartoons about all these characters, Unicorn, Peppa Pig, everyone else. And they want to see these characters. All the songs there were written by Maria Burmaka. Wonderful songs. They are melodic, beautiful, and they teach that you should love mom and dad because they do not wish you harm. When Marichka played with us, it was also a pleasure to work with her. Ira Dvoryanin is now performing her songs in an amazing way. It's simply a pleasure to work with such music. At the end of 2015, right before the new year, the name of the new play for children, Mom Said No, appeared on the billboard of the Franco National Theatre in Kiev. The Ukrainian singer Maria Burmaka was in one of the main roles, and fans just gasped. Is their idol giving up music and becoming an actress to play on the stage of the drama theater? It turned out that the change of roles was temporary, and thanks to this, thousands of young people can enjoy the magnificent musical tale on the stage of the famous theater. I will tell you how it all began. Back in 2011, I released an album of children's songs, and I really wanted these songs to sound in some sort of performance. I came to Stanislav Moiseyev and told him that I would really like to do a children's play. I've got some songs here. Have a listen to them. And so it began. Burmaka's idea about a children's musical began to turn into a stage reality. Dan Humenny wrote the play. Andrei Maimalahov took up the direction. In the process of collaboration between all, the performance was surrounded by creative findings. We talked, we recalled some stories. This is my phrase, Mom said no. When Dad let me he did, but Mom said no. There are some coded phrases that my mom or my father told me. I also suggested the character Mr. Nobody. The song You Can Be a Dog, You Can Be a Cat is my poem. Maria Burmaka actively involved in the process. First of all, she did what she loves and does best. She took on working with music, and she got her father involved in writing poetry. In fact, all my songs or their musical versions are involved in the performance, but we needed 2 more songs for the main characters. My father was still alive, he passed away 2 years ago, and together we came up with these 2 songs, The Boy Ostapchik and Mr. Nobody. He was at the performance and he experienced this wonderful moment when his daughter comes onto the stage of the Franco Theater. So the whole musical part was created by Maria Burmaka, but the most important thing is that she played the roles of all the fairy moms in this story, and it was an unforgettably cool experience, the singer confessed. I sang Oh Slumber Walks Near the Windows. I went out with a guitar, and it was clear to the audience that I was me. It's clear that I am not an actress, I do not have this professional education. I know what I can do well. And this, I just tried, I liked it. Did I succeed? The people who saw it should be the ones to say. We became very good friends, and it was a pleasure to work with her, communicate, share skills. It merely added new color to theatrical work, because we didn't have that experience before. When Ostap Halavka phones me, he always says, "Mom, how are you there?" Actually, Marichka is cool. Due to the fact that nothing is being created for children now, she started from herself. She got working and wrote something for children. Beautiful Pasha Piskun is Mr. Nobody. His singing is fantastic too. I was chosen for this role because I can sing a little. Unfortunately, Mr. Nobody has only 1 song here. Maria Burmaka's songs are beautiful, just crazy. They're so memorable that even adults leave with these songs, not just children. I think that everything just turned out fine. Unfortunately, I have not been in the performance lately because I simply don't have any time. The schedules do not match. And then it seems to me that we managed to get across to the audience what I wanted to say. The recognizability of characters, as in the distance premiere showing and to this day, easily involved all the spectators in the action, both young and even adults. The play's creators correctly guessed the emotional effect of direct communication with the audience. This is a fairy tale, and this is a different tone. This is communication with children. These are dances. This is fun. A lot is involved here. We work with children interactively. We use balloons. We run out to the hall, play with children. They're constantly with us. And interactive, these are the balls. Who doesn't like to play with them? To be honest, this is their favorite part. If you find a connection with children, then it is only pleasure and happiness to work with them. Acting in a play for children is not easy, as it might seem at first sight. Not only should you be vigorous and active in the morning show, but here you won't be able to perform one's role at half pace. Because kids cannot be fooled. If adults can understand, here she's playing, here she's not, then you have to be as sincere as possible for children. It is harder to act for children because they are more selective. Because children do not forgive, but they notice everything. If you are not true, the children will see it. They won't believe and will not follow you. Perhaps children feel us more, they understand more, whether or not you are sincere with them. Dan Humeni wrote an ultra-modern fairy tale with recognizable characters and filled the text with terms that are absolutely used to modern children, users of the internet and Skype, smartphones and other gadgets. Thinking that's not shackled by any blinders. It gives results in the direction of fantasy. Yes, of course, an interesting thing. I couldn't write something like that.
Ти знову одягнув труси на брюки. Скільки разів я говорила тобі не робити цього?
In fact, children are very smart now, and I think it's impossible to write something too difficult for them. Children are just very interested because they understand what we're talking about, because they live in it all the time. Children are just so modern now. It seems to me even relevant, just such a fairy tale. So everything is great. This fairy tale for children is a vivid performance, an entertaining show with familiar and attractive at first glance characters. It was easy for these fabulous cunning guys to influence a child, but the authors have skillfully shown that not all that glitters is gold, and one cannot just sit back and have fun. One of the main ideas is that we may want balloons, want cars, but as a result, Ostapchik comes to the conclusion through the entire performance that the main thing is that which parents teach their kids. Katya, who at first was a hooligan girl, turns into the girl she used to be. And this is also an educational moment for me, that there is a good child in every hooligan and vice versa. This is normal. Because the tale is very interesting and very instructive. As a result, Ostapchik understands that life is very bad without mom and dad.
Він же теж прозріває як дитина в кінці. Ця, я назвав би, енергетична тема, наприклад, так?
He too sees the light at the end, like a child. I would call it an energy theme. For example, the balloon seller, when he recalls his childhood and then adds, "I miss my mother so much." This heartfelt thing that sounds from this seller is, in my opinion, a topic that is so instructive for children.
Оце і є, здається, от тема, і от воно і виховне. Мораль така, що якщо ви будете не
There is a moral here. If you persist, you will turn into nobody and become a sort of Mr. Nobody, and nothing good will come of it. That is the moral, roughly speaking. But it's very necessary for children who come and watch, and I hope they realize what will happen to them if they're disobedient. We call into that fairy tale world, to the games in this negative fairy world. And then all the same, the children return to their parents, to the good, and support their own family. Both the performance and the songs contain a simple truth. All children, and especially small children, must obey their parents. Maria Burmaka says, summing up. Even this imaginary friend, Mr. Nobody, has a mother. He listens to her, she calls him on Skype. He runs to her and must obey her too. And finally, each character, whatever he may be, Superman, the balloon seller, and Santa, each of them has a mother whom he loves, whom he calls up and listens to her opinion, and just obeys. Jokes, games, songs, just like 3 years ago, and in today's performance, uncontrollably carrying away young viewers. At the same time, Maria Burmaka noticed one important detail that became a theatrical revelation for her. What amazed me was that however many performances I've played, about 15 on each occasion, the children reacted in completely different ways. One performance is not like the next. It was such a fantastic discovery for me. Yes, the performances are different each time. This is the magical law of the living art of the theater. But the main goal remains unchanged. All the heroes who we meet in Ostapchik's path, in one way or another, help him to take an important decision, for which all the events on the stage took place, to return to his mother. And the finale of the fairy tale shows this when he says, "I'm tired of having fun. I want my mom to sing now." The dad appears. "Oh son, it was only a dream." Adults also like all of it. They take part in it. It's also important for adults. Marichka Burmaka is such a fundamental force because she wrote the album, and the performance itself actually grew out of this album. And our work, which we have done together, has grown from this too. And this is very good because in actual fact, there are not many songs for children, especially Ukrainian songs. The music is awesome. Everything is going its own course and everything's developing. But we're trying to keep this performance in order. And audiences and their reaction tell us that the children like it, thank God. And they come happy, and the theater halls are packed. We're creating a fairy tale for children.